Hey everybody, how you guys doing today? I think I want to start off first. We got to acknowledge the elephant in the room. As we've definitely been experiencing a series of devastation regarding COVID-19, better known as the coronavirus. Um, I encourage everyone to just follow orders, do what the CDC is asking, wash your hands. For people that have to constantly come in contact with outside for any reason, again, just be cautious. Special shout out to first responders, healthcare workers. You guys are a special set of people because you are really, really, truly risking your lives while everyone else is being asked to, tuck away, hide away. You going out, on the front line of a virus. This is not the same thing as anything that we are used to physically because we can't see it. We only know after we've experienced symptoms, and the fact that you guys are taking it head on with no real certainty of every single precaution being perfect, being seamless, and just being sure that you're safe and you're still doing it. You'll bless your hearts and continue to do what you do. And just know that if nobody else says it, y'all appreciate you. And I know that there's plenty of people that do. Look out for the elders, people that have grandparents, older uncles, aunts, anything like that, parents. You'll take care of them. Don't have them outside. Don't let them get exposed. Don't let them get in any kind of uncertain circumstances that you'll regret later. So I actually wanted to record this a while ago, but with the COVID-19 breakout and everything else, it had completely taken a shift and I didn't get a chance to put out what I wanted to put out. And it's something that may still be applicable. Someone had come to me and they were just having a rough day. They were venting about, an experience with the relationship and, this dynamic that they had been in. And they were hesitant to share because they had come to me regarding this relationship before, and they were worried that I would hit them with the "I told you so." And I don't do that. So we go back and forth, and we have this exchange of what she went through. And in a nutshell, she kept calling herself stupid. She kept reiterating the fact that she's not surprised and that she already knew what kind of person this is and why would she even bother and all these different things. And I said, why are you doing that to yourself? So I had to stop her. So why are you doing that? She was like, because, I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. I said, stop doing that. That's not stupid. That's love. So that's what happens. Love and logic, emotions and logic do not dwell in the same place. Don't be upset. We've all been there. So when I said that, she looked at me like, what do you mean you've been there? I said, oh, you think I've never had my feelings hurt before? That's a bad misconception. The last thing I would ever tell you is that this is an exclusive experience. This is not something that is one-sided. This is not something that doesn't happen to a multitude of people. And yes, I'm one of those humbled folks that's experienced being heartbroken before. And especially in the dynamic of, of cheating or realizing that this person wasn't right for you or whatever the case might be. I've been there, hence I'm single, right? So she went on to say, like, how did you get over it? And I said, the biggest reason why you can't get over it is because you keep lying to yourself about it. So she's like, well, what do you mean? She was like, I was dumb. I said, you wasn't dumb. You was in love. I said, did you guys have fun? She said, yeah, we had fun. I said, okay. Does what happened now mean that fun doesn't exist? She was like, that's what I wish I could forget. I said, that's the first mistake. I said, what you're trying to do is you're trying to one-side this experience. You're trying to wash away what actually happened. And instead of you acknowledging what actually happened, instead of you saying that I love this person and this was something that made me happy about this person, and this is something that they've done in their imperfections, you're denying yourself your experience. You're denying yourself the part that loves that person. And I said, you know what you do? You starve that part of yourself. I said, in you starving that component of your individual, in you starving that experience, you've given this person your kryptonite indirectly. And that little person that loves that person, that enjoyed that person, that laughed with that person, again, is starving. So when that person that has your kryptonite and isn't necessarily good for you at this point, because logically you understand that, but emotionally you can't catch up. When that person shows back up with a different sort of apology, what happens to you? You melt. And the reason that you melt is because that part of you that was starving is now getting the chance to eat. And that part starts to scream. And before you know it, you take that person back. They show up like a knight in shining armor because that aspect of you had been dying. Because you never gave yourself the permission to say, you know what? We had a great time. This person was perfect. This person was this person was that in these specific spaces. And because you don't give yourself permission to acknowledge that part of your heart, when they show up and they feed it, guess what you got? And you stuck in a place and you're in this cycle of redoing this hurt, love, or this misconception of love because of this starving aspect of yourself. Then you also have to remember the other side of it. So we had to get a little bit deep because I had to ask her, why do you think that I would be removed from this experience? She was like, oh, you just don't carry yourself like somebody that's single. I said, well, what the fuck does that mean? And she said, you act like you're very happy. I said, baby, in case you missed it, I'm not acting. I'm not acting. Nor did I make it someone else's responsibility to put a smile on my face. Because when you give that power to a person, then guess what you will be met with? Disappointment. Because what happens when they don't feel happy and you don't know how to make somebody happy? If you can't make yourself happy, you think you can make somebody else happy? There's a lot of people that pretend and they fill parts and fill voids and do different things just to make somebody feel good. But in all actuality, they starve into. So yeah, when I say I'm happy for real. And when I made the decision to separate from somebody, I didn't separate from them out of anger. I separated from them out of love. You see, each person that I've dealt with was closer to the person that I'm looking for, which means that I am developing the character that's necessary for the spouse that I'm looking to mate with, for the person that I'm looking to spend my time with. So I'm optimistic that the person that's the perfect fit will come along. But you see, what happens is she has let insecurity be her decision maker. She has convinced herself that she cannot do better and she cannot find love in the fashion in which she's experienced it thus far because she thinks very little of herself. That is an insecurity. Do not let that be the reason that you stay put. If you look at your relationship and you say, oh, I'm with this person because I can't do better, and it's not a positive thing, that's probably not someplace you need to be. And I'm not going to tell you what you should and shouldn't do, but I'm going to explain that if you are indeed in a dynamic in which you are not happy and you need some help, acknowledge what makes you happy in the space that you are in and the reasons that it makes you happy. Because if you are happy because this person buys you nice things, don't let the fact that you used to be broke be the reason that you're in a relationship, because that kind of stuff don't hold up too much. Or at least don't cry that the person cheats, because they're giving you what you're asking for. If you put out minimal request, that's a minimal expectation. You shouldn't experience disappointment. You shouldn't be sad. And again, you can't hold somebody accountable for your happiness when you tell them none of what makes you happy. Someone else was there and she was like, oh, I feel like you're taking a stab at me. Because this is what we do. We double back to what's familiar because we haven't found something that's better. And it's like, just because you didn't find it yet doesn't mean that it's there. Just because you didn't find it yet doesn't mean that you're prepared to actually receive it. You be so focused on the change that you're not changing. You are so focused on somebody else making you happy that you don't make yourself happy. And that is an unrealistic and unreasonable expectation on another person. I'm not gonna come to you and expect you to fix my problems. I'm gonna come to you and expect you to be the representation in numbers that I need in my strength and in my power. We're supposed to be moving forward, not you trying to find the pieces that I left behind and drop someplace. You have people that are so uncomfortable with expressing what they want and how they feel, and that can be a problem. That's not a relationship. That's kind of like an addiction or a coping mechanism. You need a shot of feel good for a minute so that you just stop thinking about what you're not worth. Don't let somebody be in your face because you don't feel like you're worth more. Have somebody in your face because they're great company and let that be that. In light of that, insecurity as a decision maker, I feel like that's something that manifests in so many ways. People use that. Think about when you raise your babies. People raise their kids and they're like, yeah, I didn't have this, I didn't have that. And it's not that that's a bad thing. It's that other aspects of that person is important. And what may have been an insecurity for you may not be the same thing for that kid. So while you might have felt like your life would have been better if you had better shoes, your kid is probably the type of kid that they don't care about shoes. Or maybe they don't care because you always provided them, but either way, they might be missing something else. Focus on what they actually need. There's so many times that because it hurts us, it drives us and becomes a focal point rather than an opportunity to be stronger and wiser. That don't mean you neglect everything else. It means that you now know something that you didn't know before. So I hope that in the midst of all this crisis, I hope that in the midst of all this chaos and all the quarantining, because I'm sure that that's hard too. You know, some people are lonely. Some people are, in full houses and still lonely. Some people are having some hard realizations right now. And I do hope that everyone feels better at some point. I hope everyone stays safe. I hope that you are washing your hands, you are taking care of your kids. I hope you ain't hurt your kids yet, because I'm hearing people losing their minds. And I hope that at the end of all of this, we were better than when we got here. And I think that's it. Before I let you go, I know you see my bear shirt because I'm gang today. This is my homie shirt. He sells them. I'm not sure how many he has left, but I promised him that I would put out this video and wear his gear and make sure I show my support. I definitely bought two. And if you like, the link will be down below for you to make a purchase. I'll put his Instagram and everything in the description box too. Yeah, I'll do all that. Yeah, why not? So if you like me, you probably will like him too. But in the meantime and in between time, you'll take care of yourself. Be better than yesterday. Wash your hands. And I'm going to see you for the next video. I hope you enjoy. Take care now.